There are so many people that are afraid to take the jump. Afraid to take the jump. And don't be upset when it don't work out. And I mean, don't be upset when it don't work out. We're live on set. Take the jump. This is what we're discussing, and this is what it is. Yeah. We're not wasting any time. I came across a situation yesterday in the school, and I found it very interesting because a colleague of mine was expressing their concerns about wanting to get to the next level. And I done just about prayed with the majority of my peoples, just going throughout the building. And for those who I prayed with, love you guys, shout out to you guys, and you know what time it is. I still have to say that I used this individual at a time where I let them know that they actually had manpower to get to the next level. And I've seen them several times not advance themselves to the next level. And then continue to complain and continue to bicker and say that they're mad and they're disgusted, but they also didn't show that they were ready and they were prepared for what they was asking for. The harsh reality is a lot of us are gonna ask for certain things and not even be ready for it. And that's the scary part, because you can hear someone complain, you can give them solutions, they don't act on it, they don't do following up. You pray with them, you pray for them, they're trying to balance out life in real time. You give them the access and they still don't do anything with it. And then after that, want to complain, and I realized that I had another colleague of mine that said that they live vicariously through me. And I didn't really understand that at first, because she was saying the things that you're doing, working with kids and going to these games and going to these festivals and traveling and operating drones, doing photography, doing videography, doing this, pushing, trying new things, implementing something new into the equation, showing individuality. And a lot of us sometimes are living in our past. And that's why I continue to do certain things, because I want to continue to show that I am being consistent in something that interests me. A lot of people are going to look down on you because you're constantly figuring out life. And if they're looking at you because you're maybe doing several things, that's probably because they're only doing one. And when someone's doing one, they're usually a master. That's what they say. What do they say? As far as a master of a master, you having your master. A jack of all trades is a jack of all trades is a master at none, but still better than a master at one. There we go. And that pretty much means, guys, you are going to get your hands in a lot of things. And even with my peoples who are doing certain things, like I have friends who are firemen, I have friends who are chefs, I have friends who are photographers, I have friends who do, podcasting in other areas. I have friends who are teachers, I have friends who are professors, I have friends who are educators. I tell my colleague, when it's time to make the move, you have to make the move. And you just can't be a person that say it to evoke emotion. Because I tell you guys, this game is filled to the brim with a bunch of unrealistic individuals. And they don't realize that sometimes when they go to work and they're on autopilot. And while they're at work on autopilot and complaining, I'm at work. And if I'm on autopilot, I'm still making a change while I'm in school, while I'm up 1 o'clock in the morning, 1:30 in the morning every day. Doing it to my heart content, recording these episodes early in the morning, editing the one from before on the way to work, coming back, editing this episode, shooting and doing, maybe change clothes, another outfit, another thought. And an OG of ours would pretty much say you have to say something about 9 times for a person to really, really hear you. And I would say you would have to tell somebody 15 times. So I would put myself in a situation where when I get myself on set, I tell everybody, I'm going to tell you some things a lot of times. It's not that I'm disrespectful. It's just a psychological thing that I believe just works out. So my students already know that I'm going to tell them certain things a lot of times. Not so that when they hear it, because sometimes if they hear mom or dad say something about 3 or 4 times, they're like, and they get an attitude. But then when they realize that I'm delivering something to them to help them, they're going to say, okay, I know it's coming, so let me just leave it alone, and it's not a big deal because he's just reminding me. And psychologically, that's how you have to be with kids, how you have to be with your colleagues, how you have to be with your family, how you have to be with strangers. And with all due respect, you can say that you're good with kids, but you also have to be good to yourself. And if you're not showing that you're able to navigate, handle yourself, check yourself, you can't be upset when no one takes you serious. You want to go about life looking like the jester? You be the jester, governor. But eventually you're going to want to have to take a seat back. You're going to want to sit back and observe everything. But until you do, sir, don't expect the right people to pray for you. Don't expect the right people to assist you. Don't expect the right people to give you guidance and or development. Don't expect people to hold your hand and bring you to what you need to get done. That's why they say you have to be careful with your words, because if you say something to one of us, eventually we're looking at you to make the change. And if in time we don't see change, whatever it is, it will be at your sole responsibility, risk, cost, and expense, regardless of whether or not you win, you succeed, you grow, you show change. We're live on set. This is a strategy. How you execute it? Play this back, Jack. Your teamwork. They say teamwork make the dream work. You better know how to use your people, because using people there's nothing wrong with using people. As long as you do what, folks? Exactly. Use them correctly. We're live on set. If you're like most creators, then being original is one of your most valuable assets. And once you're ready to make huge improvements, it can feel as if everything costs too much or just takes too long. But something as simple as updated headshots from Sunlaw can separate you from what everyone else is still doing. Those you have industry standings with recommended Sunlaw for years, so you know the job's gonna get done successfully and at a low cost. Especially when those extra dollars have to go to something else in the budget like lighting, aerial shots, and literally almost everything that's labeled in-house studio requirement. With free consultation, you can ask questions that can assist with what makes the most sense. Once you're not able to think about the financial factors, the creative process becomes easier to complete, and that's why Sunlaw is one of the best and one of the most affordable on the East Coast. Plus, no misleading quotes, no hidden fees, everything backed up, satisfaction guaranteed. Come see why Sunlaw Company is one of the most connected, and now protect what's worth protecting. And I'll see you guys in the studio. Peace. You know, I was like that at one time also. Yep. I'm not even gonna lie to you, Governor. I was like that one time also. And what's that? Procrastinating. Ooh, I would love to get to the end of a deadline and then start something. And I mean, that's schoolwork, of course. And you think about getting to a project and saying, hey, we got to get it done by this Saturday, and then we're Saturday at 5 p.m., and then we're just starting at Friday, 11:59 p.m. Like, we're just gonna run on through. And everybody that I had experiences with, I appreciate that. I thank you. I love you guys, because it shows that in real time we can make some real things happen. But boy, I'm talking about when it came to my schoolwork, when it came to just how I would approach my relationships and situations, I used to approach it very, very blah. And when I say blah, I really mean schoolwork is done, I'm doing all these other things, I was having a good time, I'm partying, I'm bullshitting, I'm doing all these things besides getting the actual work done. And I mean the work done, because you could have the experiences, but you need to show any organization that you are able to stand the course of time. That means really put in the work. That means that when I'm here looking at my 168 hours, looking at my 7 days, and I know the hours that I sleep, I know the hours that it take me to get dressed, I know the hours that it is to travel, I know the hours that it takes to set these things up, I know the hours that it takes to make these things move. This all takes time, guys. This all takes time. So with the taking time, that means that it all adds up to a big number. That number is what you make it. Those 7 days is what you make it, your week, your day. How do you map out your 24 hours? Map it out, match it 7 times in a row. That's your 168. Try it. It's very interesting. But I'm telling you, man, some people will procrastinate with how they handle their business, how they come to their decisions. Some people got to get thrown into the fire or into the storm and go through the whirlwind to come out for that to not happen. And that comes with grace and experience and deserved favor. So all you guys who are doing that, I see you guys. I appreciate you guys, because I know that time is changing. And even for me, financially, I come to realize that, I've been having to modify how I want to really, really deal with a lot of programs and a lot of things that I've just been subscribed to, that I'm like, I don't need that in my life at all. I need my $15.99 in a few spots. So even with that, I had to unsubscribe and turn off a lot of things. Me and my lady have some of the same familiar programs. We got to cut some of those things where we're both not using Adobe Creative Cloud and things like that, where when you look at it, $30 add up. And I mean, when you start adding up all the small cents, I'm going to give a shout out to my student Jaden, man, because today when I go to work, I am using my Dunkin' Donuts $15 gift card that I was given from him, mom, and dad, and the family. Thank you guys. Because the best part of waking up, I believe, is coffee in a cup. And I learned that once I stopped procrastinating, my professor would give me an assignment. I was already working on it that night. People had ideas. I already came up with more ideas by the next morning. I'm sending stuff right back to them at 5 o'clock as a guide, as a reference, so that when they wake up, the first thing that they see is someone who takes them serious. In the world of bullshit that's gonna happen as they go online, some people wake up, they don't even brush their teeth. They just go right on social media. They turn on YouTube. They're probably watching this and just saying, oh, let me go brush my teeth. And if that what makes you a better person, then congratulations, because you're no longer procrastinating. There's so many of us who are procrastinating. And I say procrastinating as in not only in just one area of our lives, in all of our lives. You're not putting in the time that you really, really need to put in for things to actually bubble. And to me, with all due respect, it's very, very disrespectful to tell people what you want to do and then you don't even act on it. What the fuck is wrong with you? Yo, Governor, listen. Don't tell people your intellectual property until you have it figured out. And I know you want to run that by your baby. You want to run that by your peoples. You want to run that by your colleagues and let them say, oh, wow, that's great. Probably turn it to individuals who don't know what to do with themselves as well. And believe it or not, that is the majority. A lot of people go to their job, they get off of work, they may hang out with their peoples for a couple of hours, they go back home, they take a shower, if they take a shower, they go into bed, they got a loved one, they maybe get their bones jumped, and it's like they got kids, they doing food, dinner, checking homework. Shout out to the parents who check homework. And it's this repeating cycle that just goes on and on and on and on and on. But then when I stopped procrastinating, I realized that I made the time. I wasn't like running, trying to play catch up to other people's lives. I was no longer playing catch up. And shout out to Mom and Papa Fikes. You know what I'm saying? The Troxel family. I love you guys. And again, man, my prayers and my condolences with you guys, because I know that these were individuals that taught us to, you're not gonna, don't play catch up. Just level out. Let today be what today is going to be. Let tomorrow be what tomorrow is going to be. Let yesterday be what it was. Don't carry it along with you. Now, if it's great stuff, carry it along with you. And if it's bad stuff, remember it as a lesson, but then continue to move forward to where you don't make those same mistakes. Some make mistakes, some make mistakes. And as your 1,000 attempts, you're going to make mistakes. And when you learn from people who put you on the game like that, it makes you realize that, hey, I don't got to say that the final is tomorrow and I'm going to start studying today. Nah, I'm just give myself a little bit of time to play a little catch up here and there. Give myself a little dose. It's the same thing with the music. Now I don't have to go crazy and just throw a project for no one to really, really take in and listen to. But if it's for the right person to take it in and listen to, then basically the job has been done. And that's the clarity that I've been telling you guys is necessary in order to evolve with growth and or development in these businesses, in these corporate situations. You have to be able to, as I tell you guys, not lose your integrity, stand on your square, but be able to also give the information that the people need so that people know that when you're in the room, that to be taken serious. And that's pretty much it. And once I stopped procrastinating, I realized that people looked at me different. When I stopped procrastinating, I realized that people knew that I'm not a pushover, that people just can't do what they want to me. People just can't use me how they want. Because I come to realize that I'm also a man who come with a great amount of information. And believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dogs and cats, sometimes it's still not received wholeheartedly. It's not received properly. And, for some people that may be discouraged, and it's one of those things where sometimes people will try with one group of people, a situation, they'll be like, nah, we don't want to deal with that. And sometimes a person will say, you know what, I ain't give my information to nobody. Why would you do that? Why would you not continue to be you? Why would you not remove yourself from all you know to make yourself better? I got a homegirl who is figuring out life, doing all the necessary things to make herself feel full, be full. She's being her to the fullest. When I see her, I'm like, I see you. I see you being you to the fullest because you're putting in the necessary. You're putting in the necessary in order for things to work. Sometimes I'm going to say things slow, guys, because I have to get my thoughts together as well. These things are really, really, because it's a follow through. We are living in a world right now where some of us are procrastinating so hard that now they've hit the brick wall. They had ample amount of time to slow down, to hit the brakes, to come to a full stop. But now, it stops here. When people no longer pray for you, when people no longer really, really sit you down and pray with you, you're going to have to sit down and look into yourself and put the work in. Put the work in. And no one's going to feel sorry for you, and no one should feel sorry for you. Because remember, no one's going to care. And even those that care about you, in time, parents and all, loved ones and all, colleagues and all, friends and all, relationships will change because eventually you're going to get what you deserve. You're going to have those speak to you how you deserve. And you may not like it at times, but the harsh reality is, it's because you're really not ready. And if you was ready, we would know. Why? Because then, beloved, you would put yourself in a situation that makes you better. You will show us that you are better. When you are just standing there, complaining, with no action, looking fucking goofy, it doesn't work. No one cares. No one's going to. Like I was telling my lady, no one's gonna grab my hand and pull me into the studio. No one's gonna say, hey, Irv, you gotta get to work. Irv, you gotta do this. Irv, you gotta buy this. Irv, you gotta buy that. No one. That's the homework. I don't want to hear how talented you are if you don't have an EPK. I don't want to see or hear how talented you are if you don't have yourself aligned up. If you're not tapped into your passion. When you are no longer thinking about money, surprise, surprise, you finally reached. People are jumping into situations because they think that because they want to make money. They want to say, hey, I'm trying to get to the money. No understanding of analytics. No understanding that I have my mother-in-law watching my videos on the low and thinking that I don't know. And I appreciate that because now it allows me to continue to do what I do. And also as well, tell her how much I love her cooking, as well as I love those sweaters that she get me every single Christmas. Never missed one yet. So Mama Gunther, shout out to you as well. I love you. And shout out to the whole family on that side. You know how I go, man. I love all you guys. And can't wait to get out there to Jamaica and get out there and vibe out with the family on that side. So shout out to you guys as well. And that's what it's about. I put in the work. I do the necessary. I record myself when I don't have anything to say and just go. Why? Because it's an integrity clause that I made with myself. I'm not breaking it for nobody. The things that I'm into, these new things that I'm into in 2024, as in the new music, as in me and other communities and me doing other things and me doing other vibes and me just figuring out myself. And I know you guys are doing fly things as well, so put in a comment what you got going on. Let me know what you got going on. Some people are now painting. Some people are now traveling more. Some people are now in the movie theaters for the first time once a month. My brother like in there damn near every single week. So shout out to him and Ange and Ant and Dex. Shout out to the whole family, the whole Cole family. You know what I'm saying? And it's like really, there's not a new movie that's out that my brother hasn't seen. And I mean, hasn't seen. It's one of those things that though he has a huge movie room, he still get a chance of getting out and getting to the gym and exercising and going to the movies and spending time with his lady, getting that outside movie time. And it's like, yo, that shit is fly. I love it. So, as I tell you guys, making time for yourself for what you love to do. And though money is important, Miami, right? Money is a major issue. If you're not pouring love and grace and favor into yourself, the money might not come how you expect it to. When you don't have an EPK, the money might not come as you expect it to. When you don't invest in yourself solely, the money might not come as you would expect it to. Look, we are live on the set. Stop procrastinating. Control your 168 hours. Control it. Control it. We're live on set. We'll be back. If you're like most creators, then being original is your most valuable asset. And when you're ready to make huge improvements, it can feel as if everything costs too much or it takes too long. But something as simple as updated headshots from Sumlaw can separate you from what everyone else is still doing. Those you have industry standings with recommend Sumlaw for years, so you know the job's going to get done successfully and at a low cost. Especially when those extra dollars got to go to something else in the budget, like lighting, aerial shots, photo shoots, everything else that's studio requirements. Hit us up. Free consultation. Ask your questions. Maybe we can assist with what makes sense. Once you're able to think about the finances, the process of the project goes so much more smooth. Look, we're at the end of 2023. So for your photo shoots, headshots, aerial imagery, video, as well as musical production, don't wait any longer. Come see why we're one of the best recommended on the East Coast. Protect what's worth protecting. And I'll see you guys in the studio. Peace. And the quality of your living is based entirely upon your ability to play the game. And you have to ask yourself how you're going about it. How are you strategizing? How are you executing it? Who's your team? Shout them out. Because having a team is a necessary. It's a necessity. You need to have people, no matter what it is. Doesn't matter if it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 20. Doesn't matter. You need a team. You need people to believe in you. You need people to... Do you? I don't know about that. Well, you kind of do, but you would love for people to believe in you. I know I have people that believe in me. But sometimes you may not have people that believe in you. For example, if people didn't believe in the show, this doesn't stop me from doing the show. And that's a real conversation. If no one liked the show, it doesn't stop Irven from doing live on set with Irven. For some of y'all start some things and then it's like, wait a minute, I don't know. And then they stop. Okay, it's okay to stop. It's okay to stop, analyze everything, and then get going. It's okay. Because in every business, you're supposed to grow. In every business, you're supposed to evolve. I don't know about that either. What I do know is you have to give it your all. You have to give it your all. You have to be it till you see it. You have to be the change now. And talking about it to anybody and everybody and anybody doesn't make sense. We're live on set. Handle your business. Because the quality of your living is based entirely upon your ability to play the game. You guys are coming up shorter than leprechauns. We're live on set. Irv.